streaming. Yes, we are. Okay, it says we're live. Gosh golly. Yeah, we're going to do standby.
We're excited.
Yeah. Hey, it's good to see everybody here. Let us know that you can see and hear us, or at least see the standby and hear us.
Sheila, so glad to hear that you say the process for getting here was easy.
Don't expect that to happen all the time.
Yeah, don't get used to that.
Really.
But I'm actually impressed. I didn't think it would be, so excellent. Lauren, hello.
Blue and red
Blue
shirt?
and red shirt.
Yeah, well.
Sometimes we're not twins. He didn't get the memo. It's hot in Iowa, huh? Nancy and Art, so good to see you. Hot in Iowa. Yeah, well, it's not particularly chilly here in South Florida either.
Yeah, really.
But I'll bet it is hotter in Iowa. People can say that they don't want to live in Florida because of the heat, but we have an ocean breeze, usually. Chuck Parker. Pamela from Frederick, Maryland.
Hey, Chuck, how's your first wife? No, what do we do here? I don't have anything ready. I don't know what I'm doing.
I don't believe you.
My clock says 2 o'clock. Hey, there we are. Pretty cool. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode, number 170 of What Does This Button Do? It's an educational show about smartphones and tablets with us, Geeks on Tour. We have a beginner's lesson today on Google Photos, getting started, but first, Chris has a quick tip.
It's still kind of related to photos. I posted a comment last week for July 4th to go ahead and try using your smartphones to take pictures of the fireworks. You might be surprised at how good it comes out. And we have this tutorial video, one of our short in our library of tutorial videos, about taking those firework shots and making an animation using Google Photos.
Ready?
Yep.
Hi, this is Chris Guld with Geeks on Tour, and I want to show you just how easy it is in Google Photos to create an animation. We went out on July 4th and watched the fireworks, and I took a bunch of pictures. So whenever you have a series of pictures in action shots, that is good sample for making an animation. Now, after taking these shots and coming home, I noticed the little red dot up on my menu. And when you click it, you see that the assistant has something for you. Well, in my case, after the 4th of July, the assistant had an animation for me. And there it is right there. You can tell a creation by these little stars in the corner. And if I actually open it up, it says that this is an animation. Pretty cool. Now this one was automatically created for me. Google Photos just said, hey, I noticed you took these pictures that would look good in an animation. Here you go. But what if it doesn't? What if it doesn't make one for you automatically? You say, I want to make an animation of these fireworks shots. It's so simple. All you do is select the photos that you want to get put into the animation. So just if you hover your mouse over, you'll see a check mark. Or if you're on a phone or a tablet, you long press on the picture and it will get a check mark. And now I'm going to select 5 of these. So with the items selected that you want, you just click the plus and animation. And that is all there is to it. And what I want you to notice is look at the look at this building. It doesn't move at all. I handheld these shots, so Google must be doing something to make that look so nice. And this works exactly the same on an iPhone or an Android phone or tablet. That's Animations by Google Photos.
Wow, cool.
I don't use animations very often, but when I do,
some of them are pretty cool.
They're so easy and they're just so fun. So give it a shot.
Yeah. Great. Well, let's see. Do we have any questions? If you have questions, and we really love questions, put them there in the chat, and we'll try and answer them while we're live here in the show. Okay?
A lot of people are saying hello and glad to have you here.
Absolutely.
Ready to learn about Google Photos.
Ready to learn. Well, do you think your smartphone is smarter than you? And you have questions about your Android phone or your Apple, your iPad, or iPhones, and how do you learn about these amazing devices?
Well, we are geeks who teach, and we think that the best way to learn is in bite-sized pieces on a regular basis. There's so much to learn about these smartphones and tablets. So we came up with this weekly show, or regular show anyway, and weekly class. And one thing I want to make sure you realize, this is live. So you never know exactly what's going to happen in a live show. But after the live show is recorded, I also write up show notes. And we put those on our website, geeksontour.com, for members. Some people even print them out and gather a group of friends like a book club and learn together. Lifelong learning. That's what we're all about.
All right. Well, Chris, where are we now?
We're home in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and we did go watch some great fireworks last week. It was actually a very special July 4th. Check it out on our blog, geeksontour.blog. We even went live on Facebook. You can see it on our Facebook page, Geeks on Tour.
Cool. What about this backstage pass? We're going to try something new today.
Well, we got this idea from our friend Michael Daniels. Has he checked in yet? He's often here. He does a lot of YouTube shows himself and invites people in behind the scenes after the show is over. We think that's a great idea. But this is just for members only. If you want to join us after the show in an online meeting, you need to get the link. And that's on our website, geeksontour.com. Weekly class, episode 170. You would need to log in with your premium member username and password, and you will see a link there. And that will be as soon as we're done with the show, we'll go there.
All right. Well, our beginner's lesson today is about Google Photos, getting started on mobile devices. Are you ready for that?
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
I was born ready for this.
Where do we start?
Because Google Photos is my specialty. I even wrote a book about it. And you can find that book easily on Amazon. I've tried this morning. Just search for Mrs. Geek, and this will pop right up. I am also a platinum level product expert recognized by Google. That's my job, right? I volunteer.
We are just so proud
and ask questions
that she is.
So I answer
platinum level.
I'm hoping that maybe some of my fellow Google Photos product experts will join us today. That's the best benefit to me for being a Google Photos product expert is I'm part of a team. So I have people from all over the world that I can ask questions of regarding Google Photos. There's new stuff to learn all the time.
Yeah.
I have come up with what I call my Mrs. Geek's 12 steps for using Google Photos on mobile devices.
Because everyone needs a 12-step program.
A 12-step program, right? For all those photos, you're addicted to your photos, you need a 12-step program. It just happened to be 12 steps. In today's episode, we're only going to be covering about 6 of them, but I thought that you might want to have the actual document. It's just a 2-page document of the 12 steps about how, and the main point being how to keep all your photos and make sure you don't accidentally delete any. So what is Google Photos? It's more than one thing. So this is something that I think people find a little confusing. Sometimes when I say Google Photos, I'm talking about the cloud store. Uh-oh. This is green. You can't see it.
See?
Right.
Pretty cool.
I'm talking about the cloud.
Turn it around.
This is Apple.
Oh, that's Apple. Okay.
So it is a place in the cloud, meaning on Google servers, where your entire lifetime of photos can be stored. So it is cloud storage space in your Google account for high quality photos and videos. But it's also an app. So just on your phone or your tablet, it is an app that lets you view all those photos in your cloud storage, but it also lets you edit them, make movies, make albums, share photos and videos. So it's an app for managing and viewing all your photos. And lastly, it's a website. So you don't have to have a mobile device to use Google Photos. You can go to photos.google.com on the web and have almost the same functionality as on the mobile app. 3 versions of the app. There's a version of Google Photos app for Android devices. There's another version for Apple iOS devices. And then the website is the same thing. And they're almost, I think Google has a prime directive of making these all work exactly the same. But there's a few little differences. So why do most people use Google Photos? The number one reason is to keep your photos that you take on mobile devices safe. To copy your phone's photos to the cloud, and they give you unlimited storage for free. How do you do it? How do you get the photos from your device to the cloud? You install the Google Photos app and you turn it on. That's it. We're done. That was a short class.
Yep, see you later. It's your job, though, to check to make sure that it got done.
And then once they're there, there's so much you can do with them. But my point being, it really is easy. All you need to do is install the app and turn it on. But
there's always a but.
I'm a teacher. I want you to understand what's going on. So you need to understand that it is processing your photos. It's uploading them from your device to the cloud, and it is up to you to check and see that it got done right. The only way I can teach you that is to show you. So we're going to do a demo now. And I'm going to use 2 special devices. So I don't want to use my real devices for this because that's my real photos. And in order to teach, I want to be able to wipe them out and start over and delete and see what happens. So I have an Android phone, an inexpensive LG phone, and an iPad that I have set up for our imaginary friend we've named Alan. So I'm saying this is not my phone in my pictures. This is Alan's phone, and this is Alan's iPad. I'm going to do the phone first, which is an Android phone. Then when I go to the iPad, know that an iPad works just like an iPhone. It's Apple iOS. Okay, so here is Alan's Android phone. And he doesn't have Google Photos yet, But every phone comes with a way to see the photos. And on this phone, it's that icon right there. That is the gallery on LG phones. So I open that up and I see what photos are there. I'm going to back up to see. It tells me camera. And notice there's not very many. There's not very many at all. And what that looks like a total mistake. We'll deal with that. We'll deal with that later. But notice that there's a left arrow up there. So there's more. If I tap that left arrow, I'm now seeing albums. So there's 18 photos that were actually taken from the camera. There's 11 photos of New York City that have been downloaded to this phone and gallery is showing me. And then there's 3 screenshots. All right,
You're out of focus. Put your hand up there. Now pull it down. No?
Trying to get me in focus. Maybe I'm better out of focus.
You're usually out of focus.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So that is the built-in. I call it the native app. Is that seeing that helps at all?
Just no.
That is the native gallery app that came with this Android device. But I don't want you to use that. I want you to use Google Photos. To get it, you go to the Play Store. So there is my Play Store right there. And Google Play, and I search for photos. And usually Google Photos, Google. And there it is right there. This multicolored, and it actually did come semi pre-installed on this device. So instead of downloading it, it says enable. And update. It is important. If you see that your Google Photos app needs an update, you should do it. So it is getting the latest Google Photos app. And in a second, we can go to a home screen and open that app, and it will have a couple of questions for us to set it up. Voila. I am connected to my Wi-Fi, right? Yes, I am. Anything we should ask over there? Since this is taking a little bit longer than I thought.
Let's look over here and see if we have some
questions. Mark
questions.
Dodsworth, hello. That is one of my fellow Google Photos product experts.
Yeah.
So glad to see you here.
Yeah. And Andrew thinks it's funny that we have green screens.
Right.
Rosemary, late arrival. Sheila Hensley, 3 seconds of power outage and 10 minutes of rebooting.
Oh,
time for a solid state drive.
No, time for some wine. Okay.
That's true too.
It's finished.
You
now.
sure?
Yeah.
Okay, let's take a look.
All right. So it finished, and it still says installing there. Let's see. And it's probably on my last screen. So there we go. There's photos right there. When you open it up for the very first time, it's going to ask you for your Google account. Unless it remembers it from the last time it was on this device. Nope, there we go. All right. It's saying, are you Alan? And yes, that's what I want for this phone. Alan and his Gmail account. And next. The second question it wants to know is high quality or original. Notice high quality is the default. And yes, that's what we want. It means that Google will slightly compress every photo and video, and if you allow it to, you get unlimited storage for free. If you choose original, it counts against the Google storage that you get, 15 gigabytes. Third question, is backup over cell data when there's no Wi-Fi? No, you don't want that because, well, up to you. If you have an unlimited cellular data plan, then you could turn that on. But notice that the default is to say, no, I will only upload over Wi-Fi. Confirm. And next. Now it's just giving you some information here, how it's going to work. And there are the photos. Notice it says getting your photos. Alan has had a Google account for a while, so he already has some photos up in the... But now, I do have Wi-Fi on. I'm going to turn Wi-Fi off.
That'll slow things down.
Yeah, really. Just to give you the idea. So it is now offline, cannot back up and sync. So what's going to happen? And at this point, I'm going to take a couple of photos of Jim. And I want you to hold up this sign that nobody can see. Well, they'll see it in the picture. It's a green card and it says taken with Android.
We have green.
All right. There. And how about you? I always take at least 2, if not 3 pictures anytime I take a photo, just to make sure that I got a good one, right? All right.
Green.
Didn't occur to me.
No. Well.
Okay. So now I go to my Google Photos. And notice I see those photos. So the point being, Google is a replacement for your gallery. It is not just a backup app. It sees the photos that I just took, even though I know they haven't gotten up to the Google Photos cloud, right? But so now I'm going to turn Wi-Fi back on. And now, first it's getting photos. That means the photos that are already in the cloud from years gone by, it is getting. So see all these photos? These are not on the phone. These are in the Google Photos cloud of Alan's account. And as soon as it finishes getting those, then it will start uploading. There. See this 18, 17, 16, 15. That is uploading the photos that are on this phone, and they're going to the Google Photos cloud. Got that?
Photos and videos.
And videos. Very good. Yes, I definitely have some videos in here. Mm-hmm. All right. So that's just the bare bones understanding of what do you do on an Android device to upload your Google Photos. You just install the app, turn it on, and make sure that Wi-Fi is on. Now let's go to the Apple, which I'm using an iPad. And the built-in app, the native app on Apple, is this one called Photos. So I call that Apple Photos. And now Apple has its own cloud. So some of these are coming from Apple's iCloud. But notice there's still not very much. And the way iCloud works is they are all also on the device. So there's just a couple screens full. And the most current photos are at the bottom in Apple. So there's 139 photos and 5 videos in the native. But I want Google Photos. To get that, you go to the App Store right there. And search for Google Photos. There it is. The little cloud with the down arrow means I have had it in my account before, or Alan's account rather, and I just need to reinstall it from the cloud. And that will take a minute. We can see if there's anybody else to say hello to.
Tammy and Thomas Beatty.
All right.
Why is it I can only send a few albums and the receiver cannot send now, try later? See that.
My first guess would be internet connection. I mean, that's what I usually blame it on. It didn't take so long on this one. So Google Photos has been installed. It says open. And the first time you open it, just like on the Android, it's going to go through those same questions. It's also asking for access to your photos. Notifications? Sure. Sure. And it's showing me all three questions on one screen here. So Alan's account. I do want to back up and sync my photos. I'm good with using high quality, and I don't want to use my cellular data. I only want to use Wi-Fi. Confirm. And here are the photos that were brand new on this device, even though they have not yet made it up to Google Photos. It's telling me 18, 17. Can you see that number?
A little bit. Yeah,
there we go. 10, 9. So this is your job. You have to see those numbers go by. And it often only happens when you have the app open. So if I close Google Photos, if I just go back to my home screen, I left off at 4, right? Let's see if it got it done. Did you notice that message? It says, your photos are backing up. Leave the app open to upload faster. So they will back up in the background, but look at that. It only backed up 1 while we were on the home screen. So you need Wi-Fi and you need the app open. Now I'm going to turn off Wi-Fi and take a couple pictures of Jim. And this time you have a pink card so I can see it. All right, and once again I take 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe I shouldn't have taken 4, but you get my point. We always take more than 1 because why not? We're not having to buy more film, right? And now when I go back into Google Photos, there are the photos that I just took. There are the photos that I just took, even though you know for sure that they are not in Google Photos. Google Photos is a replacement for your gallery or your native photos apps for viewing the photos on your phone. Do I sound like a broken record? Maybe a little bit, but it's just a point that so many people don't get, and they accidentally delete their photos thinking that they're in Google Photos. So it's just a point that I really, really want to make clear. And here we go. Deleting photos. Just don't. Don't delete photos unless you really know what you're doing, unless you understand. So examples of mistakes. And this is because of being a Google Photos product expert and answering all these users' questions and teaching it myself. I see the mistakes that people make, and I don't want you to make these. So people will delete from their native photos or gallery app before the photos got uploaded. They open Google Photos, see their photos. Oh, I can now go back to my Apple photos and delete them. No!
Well, here we go. Right here, somebody has already said, Google Photos, if I delete one, it deletes it off my phone too.
I'll get there. There are more than one ways. There is more than one way to delete a photo. So that's why I say just don't delete unless you really understand, and I will show you the different ways. The second mistake that people do is deleting from Google Photos, and I think this is what Richard's using the trash can. That deletes from the phone and from the Google Cloud and from the Apple iCloud. So that's what the trash can means. So there's a different way to delete if you only want to delete from your device, leaving them in the cloud. And then this is the best way. If your phone is full of photos, if your phone isn't full, keep them all. Who cares?
Right.
Who cares? Just don't delete. But if your phone is getting full, Google Photos does give you the capability to delete them from your phone while leaving them in the cloud, and you can work with them using your Google Photos app. It's wonderful. But you better verify that they have been backed up. And then you better use the Google Photos command, free up space, and make sure that Apple iCloud is turned off. And I'm gonna demo to explain.
So a lot of this stuff is different depending on if you're on an Android or an Apple device.
Well, not completely. There are two differences. In Android, Androids have device folders, which Apples do not, and Apples have the iCloud system, which Androids do not. So those two things are what are different. Other than that, the functionality is the same, Apple and Android.
All right.
Okay, so which one do I want to do first here? I want to do Android first. So going back to this little LG phone. Oh, was there one? Was that next? That's next. Okay. Here's the little LG phone, and there is those words that you want to see. It said backup complete. Now, if you don't see that, you should at least see a little cloud with a check mark. But if you tap on that cloud with a check mark, then you see more detail. So if, for example, instead of a cloud with a check mark, you had a little circle with a number 443, you can tap on that and get more information about it. And so here, that was Google Photos. And there's lots and lots of photos going back to July 1999 because Alan has been taking pictures over the years and storing them in his Google Photos account. But here are the ones we just took today. That's the one taken with Android. But what about those ones taken in New York? I can search all the way through here, and I know I won't be seeing the ones in New York. In case you forgot what I'm talking about, if I go to the Android, to the LG gallery, these from New York, and they were downloaded. So that's because they were not taken with the camera on this phone. They were downloaded. So let me show you what you do in Google Photos to get those. 3-line menu up at the top left, 3-line menu and device folders. So Google Photos automatically sees all the photos taken with the camera, but you have to tell it if there are others. Device folders, download, you see the little cloud with the line through it? So it's saying those are not being included in your Google Photos. Tap on it, back up and sync, turn it on. And these were from September 2016. Need to remember that. So now when I go back to my main just Google Photos library, if I go to September 2016, we should see those photos. There's the New York City photos.
Very cool.
And now they are being processed and they're all done. Backup is complete. Now, I did have a picture in here that was total garbage, right? Where was that? This one. That is total garbage. It currently is on the phone and in my Google Photos library. If I tap the trash can, it says items moved to trash are removed from your Google Photos library, that's in the cloud, all your synced devices, and any albums. Well, that's what I want. With something that's garbage, I want to just tap delete and get rid of it. I don't want to have to go from here to there to the other place to get rid of it. Just one tap, and now that is gone from my gallery as well.
So I see a lot of questions about this up here in the chat, and it's yeah. So and that's why we're doing this.
Yeah, because deleting. That's why I said deleting. Just don't delete unless you really understand it.
Right.
So.
Just don't. Just don't do it.
All right. Now, how do you also test? I'm going to take another picture with this, and it will just be garbage. So, I mean, how many of you have taken a picture
of the inside of your pocket?
Of the inside of your pocket. I mean, all the time. So that I just took a photo of, of my pocket, and I would see that in my gallery. I would see that in my Google Photos, in the app. And since backup is complete, it means that those garbage photos that I just took are already up on the web as well. Let's show them the website.
All right. Good luck with that.
You can do it. I know you can.
I know I can. Where is it?
So on the web, there is no software. It's just a website. photos.google.com, and make sure that you're logged in with the same account as is being used on your phone. So here we are, and looky there. There is the garbage photos. There is the Android photos. There's a New York one which happens to have a fake date. I was putting it in today. And what are these photos with the apples, though? I didn't take that with the Android phone. I made sure to take apples with the Apple device so that you can see your Google Photos library combines your photos from all your different devices. Okay, so everything is online. I can see that it has successfully uploaded everything, but those first two are garbage. So what are you going to do, Jim?
I guess I can select them, right?
Uh-huh.
And then, because they are trash, I can delete them with the trash can.
Mm-hmm.
Remove from Google account, Google Drive, sync devices, and places where they're shared. Move to trash.
I mean, they're garbage. Get rid of them wherever they exist. That's what the trash can does.
Now they're gone, and if you try and find them on your phone, they should be gone there too. Or at least they will be shortly.
No, they are.
They're gone.
They're gone right away. Yeah. Right away. The pictures of my pocket are gone. Then the last and best way, and this is a good example here because this phone only has 8 gigabytes. and that's basically worthless. So under storage, it's telling me that of 8 gigabytes, 7 gigabytes is already used.
You're running low.
Yeah. Now, only 36 megabytes is made up of images, but every little bit helps. I can get rid of those. I have checked online, and I know that all my photos are in my Google Photos account online. So I can use in Google Photos, do not go deleting using the gallery, because the gallery doesn't know which photos have successfully been uploaded to your Google Photos account. Maybe there's a video that didn't make it yet, and if you go deleting using the native app, you're going to delete things that haven't already been uploaded. But if in Google Photos, you tap the 3-line menu and free up space. Free up 50 megabytes, removing 34 items from. These items have been safely backed up to your Google account. You'll still be able to view them at any time. So it's erasing them from the phone, leaving them in the Google account. I said, yep, go ahead and do that. And you'll notice when we use the Google Photos app, we can still see them though. This shouldn't take that long. There we go. Not bad. 4874 megabytes now free on device. But no difference. When I'm looking at my pictures using Google Photos, they're all there. They're all there. Specifically including the ones that we know were taken with this phone. If I go to gallery, it's showing me the photos on the device. Look at that. The only photos left on the device are the screenshots. There are no photos left on this device. All right?
Wow.
But they're all still in the cloud. That's the idea.
In your account in Google Photos.
Yes. So, back to the Apple then, and we're just going to do the same thing, but show you the one difference on the Apple. So we have Google Photos here. And notice that little circular arrow. That means that this photo was taken with this device, it is stored on this device, and it is waiting to upload. Notice it says 5 up here. And if I tap on that, it tells me it's waiting for Wi-Fi. So I have to turn on Wi-Fi and then those will go up. I wish that this little circular arrow or some indicator was on the Android as well, and it's not.
It used to be. There
I
used
know.
to be one.
And they took it away. I do not know why. You have no way of knowing unless you look at the menu whether something is on the device, in the cloud, or both on the Android. But this means it's on the device, it's not in the cloud, so I got to turn Wi-Fi back on. And now we should see them. And since I tapped on it, we actually see the individual photos. We know what photo it is working on right now. I like that too. And over on the left, it says 5 items left. It's going slow. And see the arrows are now spinning. All right. Now, I also have iCloud photos turned on this device. I want to show you that setting. In Apple iCloud, and this is still Alan's account, and iCloud Photos is turned on. That means that the photos taken on this device are going to the Apple Cloud in addition now to the Google Cloud. And let's just show them that. So he's going up to the web, and this time instead of Google Photos, we're going to iCloud.com. and we are already logged in. We did this before the show. So see in the upper right there, it says Alan. We are logged into Alan's account, and you can click on Photos. And you see even the photos that I just took, the ones of him holding up the pink card. Now, watch, leave that on there. No, leave that on there, and just know that on Alan's iPad, I'm going to delete using Google Photos. Using Google Photos, I'm going to delete all the pictures of Jim with the pink card. Trash. I'm going to delete them with the trash. Boom.
And I didn't do anything.
They're gone from iCloud. So, and that is because of the way that iCloud works. iCloud sees that photo has been deleted from the device, and that gets synchronized. That's the way iCloud works.
Hey, Art has a question here. I have Wi-Fi connection, but the phone says waiting for Wi-Fi. 33 items left. Any ideas?
That's your area. If you say it has Wi-Fi and it says you don't have Wi-Fi,
reboot.
Yeah, reboot. Check using a browser. See if you have Wi-Fi for other apps.
Yeah, That's a tough one.
So now I'm going to, on the Apple device, use the free up space. 3-line menu, free up space, deleting 142 items from device to free up space. 142, we only took like 30 here. That's because of all the iCloud photos are actually on the device. So if I use this free up space and delete, it's going to delete from the device and from iCloud.
Not good.
They'll still be in Google Photos, because that's the whole purpose of the free up space, is to leave it in your Google Cloud. All right, so I'm not going to do that, but just letting you understand. So if you downloaded my 12 steps, it is, and you are on an iOS device, step number 6 says, iOS, do not delete photos or free up space using Google Photos while iCloud Photo Library is on, because it will also delete them from iCloud. So don't do that.
Makes sense to me.
Unless that's what you want. Maybe you want to clear out your iCloud account because you're having to pay for it, right?
There's that then.
Okay, I think that is all my demo.
Okay. Now what do I do?
I had a feeling I'd go a little long with this one.
Yeah, that's okay. All right, so is your phone full of photos? Google Photos will delete all the photos from the phone if you do it right. So, as Chris says, do it right.
So here's your end result. We have 2 smartphone photographers here, Phil on the left and Jim on the right, and Phil is saying, I wish my pictures were automatically backed up so I didn't have to worry about losing my phone.
And I said I wish I could delete photos from my phone to free up space and yet still see them.
That's what the Google Photos development team was working on, and they say...
Well, we don't know. What do they say?
As you wish.
As you wish.
So, if there have been some confusing things, or as you're working through Google Photos, how do you get help? In the app, right on the 3-line menu down at the bottom, help and feedback, and there are help cards on every subject. You can just search. On the web, if you just do a Google search for Google Photos help, you'll see an option called Community. That's where you can post your questions, and you will most likely get one of us, one of the volunteer product experts, who will try to help. And of course, if you're a member of geeksontour.com, you have the Q&A page for Ask the Geeks. We also have a Facebook group, Learn Google Photos. If you're on Facebook, you can search for the Learn Google Photos Facebook group, and that's one that I work with.
And Pixel owners, if you happen to own a Pixel phone, you do get phone support. Google One customers get that too.
Yeah, Google One customers means you're paying for storage. You are a Google One customer. One of the benefits is phone support.
Cool.
And I did that.
Okay.
Did that.
Okay. Questions? Oh, the app of the week. Let's go do that. Prisma. Prisma is a neat photo editor. It's a free download, and you can get it for both the Apple and the Android. And Chris is going to show you how she made this really cool looking piece of art from a fireworks photo. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now I have to go back to my real phone because Alan doesn't have Prisma. And I have it in my graphics and video group here. It's just that little triangle called Prisma. It will see the photos that are on the device.
It won't see them if they are only on the cloud.
Right, so I would have to download them. And here, but the July 4th was just last week, so those photos are still here. And that is the photo that I took. I'm in Prisma. Prisma is free, but, you know, they need to make a living too. They have extras that you can pay for. But if you don't want to, I just tap the X. And I am now in Prisma working with my photo. And look, it's just so easy. I tap these options at the bottom and it just, boom, converts my photo to artwork. And if I don't like one, or I try them all to see which one I like the best. I mean, that one's kind of cool.
That one's real cool.
But the one I actually used is this one called Surf. So I tap that. And that is, I liked that the best. And so to save it, it's this little button right here. The down arrow means save that. Artwork saved to Prisma folder. And since the Prisma folder is something that I have being looked at by my Google Photos, it shows up in my Google Photos right away.
Cool.
We use Prisma all the time.
Prisma is a really neat.
Thank you, Richard Lorber, for introducing us to it.
Yeah, that was a good one.
It's how we did our logo, actually. If you see the round with Jim's and my faces, it was Prisma that turned a photo into that artwork logo.
Okay, we do invite you to become a member. Just go to geeksontour.com and click on Join Now. Oh, that's too funny. I have to put that up there. Where'd it go? I have an uncle that's been in prison for years. Oh, wait, you said Prisma.
Hey, Michael.
You're silly. See our website, Geeks on Tour. Click on the weekly class menu and scroll down to see all of our show archives. And yeah, subscribe to us on YouTube. Click that bell. You'll get notifications of when we go live or when something's happening. Other questions out there? I don't see too many, but try and help later on that one, Art. I'm not sure. Richard says my Android doesn't delete from the cloud.
Doesn't delete it from the cloud from my device. Well, you can either delete it from both cloud and device or from device only. There is no feature to delete from the cloud leaving it on your device. I don't know if that's what you're...
All right. There we go. Well, did you learn something? Wow, long show. In order to upload all your phone's photos to Google Photos, you need to install what app?
Photo sync, Google Photos, or backup and sync? Google Photos.
Google Photos gives you unlimited free storage for all your photos, but only if you choose the size called what? Original, high quality, small, or compressed?
B, high quality. And that is what we recommend. It's plenty good enough for memory photos.
True or false? Google Photos on an iPad can view pictures taken with an Android phone.
Absolutely. It's just so cool. It doesn't matter what device I have in my hand. I have all my photos.
In addition to seeing the words backup complete, how can you know for sure that your phone's pictures got uploaded to your Google Photos library?
You need to go to photos.google.com on some other device. Computer is the easiest. Log in with the same account. You should see all your pictures there.
Okay, if you use free up space on an iPhone and the iCloud Photos setting is on, what happens to your iCloud photos?
Bye-bye.
See you later. Gone.
Deleted. Synced.
And Android, if there are photos on your device that are not showing up in Google Photos, what do you do?
The device folders. 3-line menu and device folders, and you will probably find that those photos are in some other folder, and you need to turn on backup and sync for that folder.
Okay. Well, we're going to get ready and go backstage here in just a few minutes. If you get your backstage pass over there at the online, the link, episode 170 from geeksontour.com and weekly class, you will find the link. Once you're logged in, only premium members will see this. Go ahead and click on that, and I'll be there as quick as I can.
And thanks to Michael Daniels for this idea. Michael Daniels has a YouTube channel, and we've been guests on his show a few times, and he always invites his community in after the show, and I've heard him call it a backstage pass, and I just thought that was great. So to get the link, go to geeksontour.com and click weekly class 170, and you will need to log in with your username and password, and that link will take you to a Zoom meeting. You don't need to have a Zoom account. It's fun.
Okay. So, Chris, what's the web page that lists all of our weekly shows?
Geeksontour.com, and the menu item is weekly class.
And what is the web page that lists all of our recent newsletters?
Geeksontour.com, the menu item is blogs and news.
And why do people pay nearly $60 a year to join Geeks on Tour?
To be able to ask us questions in the Q&A, to get hundreds of tutorial videos, to get the written notes from these shows. And some people don't use any of those benefits, and they just want to say thank you for everything we do for free.
And we appreciate that.
And now another benefit of membership
is
the Backstage Pass.
So members are getting more and more benefits. Well, that's it for this week. I'm going to see if we can go back into the green room and get our stuff together. I'm Jen.
I'm Chris.
And we are Geeks on Tour. We'll see you next time on What Does This Button Do?
See you backstage.
Right. And somewhere over here we have our outro.